everybody, it's Miss Motzi. Today is Thursday, it's April 5th, and today was an A day. Let's talk about what we did in class today. Today we were working on Today's objective was I can interpret a groundwater diagram and explain the difference between physical and chemical weathering. We took some notes in the beginning of class, then we worked on a groundwater diagram and a packet where you are also looking at weathering and erosion using an online website. We closed out the day with an exit ticket on groundwater, and some students had some extra time, so they were working on their SOL packet that is due on Wednesday, April 11th. Let's take a minute to think about this quote here. Opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and looks like work. You're in that time of year right now where maybe you don't want to do a whole lot of work. Hopefully the weather's going to get nice pretty soon and you're going to want to put on your shorts and head outside. But this is exactly when you want to build opportunity by keeping your scores high and continuing to learn when you're in school. Like I always say, attendance is very, very important, and you should always just be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. It makes your life a lot more simple, and it's going to provide you with more opportunities in the long run. We're not talking about luck. We're talking about hard work. Now, today we talked about groundwater, and these are some pictures of water wells that people have in their backyard. So groundwater is water that seeps into the surface and then into bedrock. Specifically, sandstone is a very good aquifer. And then people are able to dig these deep wells and pull fresh water out of the groundwater system or the groundwater aquifer, and they're able to use this in their homes. Here's a side view of that. So you can see here a couple of different things that we talked about. You can see the zone of aeration, that's this tan area here. You can also see the zone of saturation, where every single little pore space is filled up with groundwater. This water gets here because you have precipitation, you have rain, snow, things like that. They seep into the ground, they move through the zone of aeration, and then they settle into the zone of saturation. Sometimes they're resting on top of an impermeable layer or a layer of bedrock. Remember in class I talked to you about that whole saying that you're supposed to use on people that aren't being nice to you. You say, hey, you know what, I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you because I'm impervious to your insults. Like, it is a total shield. Nothing can get through an impervious or impermeable layer. So keep that in mind. Another thing you see here is this line right here going on top of the zone of saturation is the water table. And the water table is just the top of the groundwater. That's all the water table is. And the water table is dynamic, meaning it changes. So the water table will go up if there's lots and lots of rain. The water table is going to go down if there's a drought, if you don't have very much rain, or if people are over pumping. Another thing you see here is a well. A well is a man-made hole, so people dig a big long hole, hopefully all the way down into the zone of saturation so that they can pull groundwater out. Another thing you see here that we didn't actually talk about in class is a spring. And a spring is an area where you actually have groundwater just springing out. And sometimes you get bottled water and they say that it's been bottled from spring water up in wherever, Maine or New Hampshire. And this is exactly what they're talking about. They're saying they're getting this bottled water from a spring in the ground. Another thing that we were able to talk about today was porosity and permeability. And this diagram is doing a great job showing that. Porosity is this blue space here. It's the pore space in between the sediments. And you can see on this side, there's lots and lots of pore space. Over here, there's some pore space, but it's not connected. And then over here, there's like no pore space at all. This is impermeable. The other thing that we talked about was permeable versus non-permeable or impermeable. So this would be a great aquifer here on the right-hand side because it has high porosity and the pore spaces are connected, so the groundwater is able to make its way through. Here in the middle, you actually have high porosity, but the pore spaces aren't connected, so the water isn't permeable. It's non-permeable. It's not able to make its way through. And then finally over here, nothing is moving through this because there's no pore space and there is no way that water is going to be working its way through that. Let's take a look at the exit ticket questions. What zone is located between the zone of aeration and the impermeable bedrock? The correct answer is the zone of saturation. Great job on that first question. All right, the next question, when a pump takes water out faster than it can be replaced, yes, a cone of depression is what is formed. Also, good job on the second question. The third question says, which type of rock was chemically weathered by acidic groundwater to produce the cave and its feature? This is limestone. Limestone dissolves when you put slightly acidic groundwater or rainwater on it. The fourth question says, the picture shows a sinkhole. Which of these most likely caused the sinkhole? The correct answer is the collapse of the roof of a limestone cave. So you all did a great job on the exit ticket. Don't forget that you have 2 things for homework tonight. The first one is this groundwater and wells packet. If you don't finish this in class, you need to make sure that you finish this for homework and bring it back because it is a grade. And if for some reason you don't have this, you want to make sure that you pick one up from me. The other thing that you have for homework is your SOL assignment. And I also put a video online about everything that you need for your SOL assignment. There are 4 different sections that you need to make sure that you get done, and all of that is due by Wednesday, April 11th. That's it for today. So I hope everybody has a great have a great Thursday, and I will see you on Monday. All right, bye.